Hello everyone, I'm Marvelous Lazy Gamer, and welcome back to another video. This is video number 3 in my Building a Kingdom series. If you missed the first 2, I will link them down below in the description. But to catch everyone up, what I've done so far is design my island, lay out the foundation, and order a crap ton of panels. In today's video, I will show you how I moved all my villagers in, what I did for my house, and just overall how I finished up the basics of getting everything where I wanted them. So let's get started. The first thing I went to work on after I had my kingdom outlined was building the cliffs for my home. I wanted my home to be on the tallest part of the kingdom. I started by building the base, and I referenced the map a lot here to make it as centered as possible. After that, I built the second cliff on top, and then it was time to move my home. After talking to Nook and getting my house moving kit, I placed it as centered as possible. Unfortunately, it refused to be exactly center, but lucky for us, the cliffs are easily changed, so I just quickly made some adjustments and my house was nice and centered on the cliffs. After moving my home, I got to work figuring out the inclines. I chose to use the stone staircase since it went with my whole stone theme, and I had to test a couple different spots before I found one that I liked. I was originally going to have just 2 staircases, one below the other leading up to my house, but they wouldn't center, so I ended up deciding to have 2 pairs. You never really know how your plans are going to go when building an Animal Crossing, so you gotta learn to be flexible. Luckily, once I had all the inclines built, I actually really liked the 2 sets of staircases leading to my house. I also wanted waterfalls around my home because I'm just extra like that. So once I knew where my inclines were going to be, I got to work on that. I put a tiny one in between my inclines since I had some empty space there, and then I put 1 waterfall on each side of my home. I connected those waterways with the moat outside my kingdom, and then connected both of those around my house. And that's pretty much all I did to set up the outside of my house. Later on, I did plant some flowers around the house, but I don't have any video of that here. So after I was done with my house, I remembered that I wanted another water feature in the center of my kingdom with a fountain in the center of it. So I decided I should find a spot for that before I continued with anything else, so that I can make sure that I took it into account when I was moving other things around. Be very sad if I moved something and then remembered I wanted the fountain and I had to move it again. We all know how slow Animal Crossing is with moving houses and buildings. So, I used the map, which you can see in the corner of my screen here, to find a good middle spot for my island, and then I just used a random design pattern to mark that spot. That gave me a good visual of where I wanted my fountain to be, so I could start moving things and not put something on the spot for the fountain. So next it was time to lay down the stone. Most kingdoms I see are built with stone pathways, so I decided to lay out the curved stone path everywhere. There was no grass left in my kingdom besides around my house. This involved cleaning up all the trees, moving my villagers out, and spending about an hour just laying down the stone. After that, I finished paying off my house. If you saw my live stream, you know that I used the turnip method to do this, and I customized it to fit my theme. Finally, to finish off the complete layout of my kingdom, I had to move my villagers back in. I had 1 villager that I had left in the kingdom, so I used his house to measure how many stone fences it would take to go around it. So I believe it was 4 stone fences on either side and 5 in the back. After I figured that out, I used the stone fencing and patches of grass to figure out where I wanted all my villagers' houses were going. Using grass here was key because I could easily see every plot on my map. This saved me a lot of time and bells, because if I just started moving people in and decided I didn't like where I placed them, I'd have to move them out and then back in, and ain't nobody got time or bells for that. So this is a really good tip when you're moving your villagers around. Even if you are not putting any, say, stone or dirt down. I would do that first anyway and use the grass to plot out where you want your villagers, and you will be able to see it very clearly on the map where they will be going. After they're all moved in, I finished my layout. I, of course, still needed to decorate, but that's for another video. Thank you all for joining me. I hope this video inspired you and helped you figure out how to design your island. In the next video, I will be creating a farm outside my kingdom because we need our food to come from somewhere. So if you want to see more videos like this, give this video a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a thing. And I will see you in the next one.